Fella.
My man.
Whoa. Memorial Day weekend. Listen, I'm just old. As I took it easy Friday night. Went for a nice team dinner Saturday night home early. And then I let her buck Diddy Sunday, but I still had to get an IV yesterday just to keep me fucking.
I saw that.
Yeah,
Did you get the at-home IV?
At-home IV.
Did you call our boys at a hydration room?
You know what? I actually didn't.
Okay.
Do they do home deliveries?
Yeah,
that was going to be one of my questions to you. I wasn't sure.
Our boy Brett Fiore, Dr. Brett, remember at Big Canyon, great guy.
I didn't want to bug him on a holiday Monday being like, or on the Sunday even when I set it up. So I wasn't sure if they do.
It's probably like you and about 200 other people in the greater area of Orange County who needed a little IV bag to get going on a Monday morning.
Yeah, I was just sitting there. They came in. The nurse was so nice. She's like, "What do you want?" I'm like, "A little bit of everything. A little bit of everything there. Fire a little Toradol in there,
put
whatever."
Me down here. I want to have a nap.
Magnesium. Send it. So
nice.
I bounced back, but I had a nice relaxing day, but one and done. But what a great time. Shout out to our boy Loops for having the party. We had all the boys back in town. It wasn't quite like it was back in the day.
No,
but nothing really is.
Yeah, that's
really
true.
Is.
Captain Conz.
Oh, the captain.
Coming down. Colin driving the Sprinter van.
Yeah.
Twins Basil.
Yeah.
McKenna.
Yeah.
It was a nice little collection.
It was nice. It was nice. A lot of tacos, sliders. I ordered too much food. I should have known people aren't going to be that hungry, right? You're just drinking, having a good time.
Yeah. Not many people eating over there.
You know what my new drink is? And it's not really new, but like I actually started drinking it with you when we were at MJ's golf course. When you're like, hey, we got to try this tequila. So now I just go Casamigos Reposado, lots of ice, lots of Repo, and I just keep adding the orange slices to them.
Yeah, it's nice.
So by the end of the day, I had like 10 orange slices in there, right?
So you get your vitamin C.
Yeah, I'm like, this is nice.
The hydration through the soda.
Yeah, and it gets you drunk quick. No soda, just fucking straight.
Not even a splash.
Not a splash.
Yeah, good for you.
Lots of ice.
Yeah, lots of ice. Yeah,
lots of ice. What were you drinking that day?
I was drinking, thanks to our boy, I was drinking Clase Azul on the rocks.
Frankie did bring a nice bottle of Clase
I
Azul.
brought my own cup, which I left at Lupul's. It's a Whistling Straight, fucking nice little mug.
I did notice that.
And
that's a good play, actually.
Totally.
Bring your own mug.
And those fucking Dixie cups. I'm done with the Dixie cup.
Yeah. Did you put your name on it, on your cup that you left?
No, I just knew it was, I'm going to take it back. I know where this guy lives. It was a great cup and keeps it nice and cold. So when you're drinking like tequila on the rocks, as you were, keeps those ice chunks nice and icy.
Yeah. What'd you think of the DJ West Coast Dave?
He was,
not your best.
He struggled a bit.
Did he struggle?
Yeah, he was good. He kept the music was at the right volume. But
I thought it was okay. But I'm not a great DJ myself.
Yeah,
no one's gonna hire me to DJ.
But in order for a DJ like that to come in and fulfill like a group like us, he needs to know what kind of. We got to give him a little guidance. And like if we told him like let's do some like a little bit of hip hop for this crew, it's got to be like the dressing room DJ.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure.
And then maybe switch it up to where it's like a little LCD sound system or a little like MGMT, like those kind of mixes, and get like garage rock for a while.
Yeah.
And then just as the sun starts coming down, like hit that fucking, Bobby Moses.
Do you think he knows all those bands? He probably does, right?
Yeah.
I could have given him some.
But he was playing just like your classic bar tune.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, he DJs
Big Shiny Tunes.
He did play Big Shiny.
No,
remember those albums? Yeah.
All the old boys in Canada know what we're talking about.
What was it called again?
Big Shiny Tunes.
Yeah, I used to get all those CDs every year.
Yeah. Those and Rock'em Sock'em videos.
Yeah, that's all I listened to those and watched Don Cherry. Hey, let's go. I thought near the end of the night, I don't know if I was just feeling good, but I was starting to move.
Yeah,
I was starting to move.
There's not much keeping
But then
you
I felt the group. I said, I paid him an extra hour. I go, let's just stay another hour. I thought he was doing all right. But then I got the feel from the sun went down, the campfire started going. And I said, listen, we're going to take care of the music ourselves now. Right. I felt like the itch from the group of like, let's play some shit that we want to actually listen to.
And Pico took it over and did a great job.
Pico's a good DJ.
Alfredo, he killed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a great time.
Great time. Conz was on fire.
Yeah.
Is there a better guy to talk to than that guy?
Great banter.
It's unbelievable. So, great Memorial Day weekend. And let's not forget what it's about, right? It's about fucking freedom and what people have sacrificed for us.
Remembrance.
Princey put up a great clip of the national anthem in that game I played, and it was a playoff game of Canucks. CBC didn't get me on camera. Fuck, I used to stand on the bench where the guy was so I could
pregame or?
Yeah, remember when they used to go down the bench?
I do. In Vancouver, they used to for sure.
Fuck, you didn't get me.
Where were you sitting? Far cheese or were you sitting in the middle?
usually I try to get right
as far away from AV as you can.
Yeah, that. And I usually get wherever, if he starts at the D side, I get right there. So he's there. Like, I make sure I'm ahead of him. But anyways, that national anthem, when they point at the Star Spangled Banner.
Yeah.
Fuck, goosebumps,
yeah,
buddy.
It's epic. So remembering all the fallen soldiers and what we're here for.
Exactly.
What we stand for.
We're lucky.
Yeah, very lucky.
Very lucky.
Keep the freedom alive.
Thank you for inventing IVs, whoever did that, because you got me in the studio here on Tuesday. But more importantly, up his world. Party time. Excellent.
Holy fuck. Well, I'm struggling today.
Talk about Kamloops, buddy. I mean, how was it up there?
The Loops.
Yeah.
It was great. I'm happy I got a chance to go back. For the listeners, Kamloops Blazers hosting the 2023 Memorial Cup. Just so happens to fall on Memorial Day. It was awesome. So I got in late Thursday. Game was Friday afternoon or Friday night. And the city they did a great job. They rallied. They did a outdoor party with a band. He was playing some Tragically Hip. He was playing some fucking Tom Petty. It was great. That's before the game. Got to sit and shoot the shit with a bunch of guys who I hadn't seen in a while. No one I played with in Kamloops. They all came in a few days later.
Really?
But Joel Edmondson, who Eddie is a beauty, he's still having a great career. He was there. A bunch of his teammates at the time were there. I saw Captain AJ Baines. He was the captain of the team before I got there. He's from Kamloops. He's a legend. Chatted with Mark Recchi, chatted with Jerome McGinley. I did not see... I saw Daryl Sador, who actually coached me in St. Louis, but all these guys are legends. They all have their jerseys retired. They all won like 2, maybe even 3 Memorial Cups together. They played for Hitch back in the day. Hitch was coming in the next day. I talked to him for a little bit on the phone. But it was a great event. The city was, it's like jumping in a hot tub time machine, taking you back fucking 20 years. Cause it's been 20 years since I've been back there.
Yeah. That must have been crazy.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good. And then Jerry and Manny, 2 of my agents that I grew up with, you ended up having as your agents there. They're in town. They have like 5 young kids on Seattle, and they have 4, I think, on Kamloops. So, they're busy as all hell with the parents and the stuff. But I look back at that and I go, now that I have kids, do I want my kid to play hockey? Fucking rights I do.
You do,
watching these kids at this high level, playing in games that mean so much. And I never got to play in a Memorial Cup, call big games, international play and World Juniors and stuff. Those are big games, but
massive. Up
until that point, like this is a stage where the NHL is doing, if there's a question on a goal, they're calling Toronto. Like the NHL offered their system up to these guys for this tournament. So it's, it carries a lot of weight for these kids. Yeah. Everyone I look back that wins Memorial Cups, it's like the highlight of their lives, right?
Big time. Anyone that I played pro with that won a Memorial Cup, I was a bit jealous of, and B, it meant a lot to them.
Yeah.
Meant a lot to them. First of all, how was Jerry's hair looking?
Jerry's mint. Oh, he had a sick little navy blue suit jacket.
His hair
in the
morning.
He wore like a nice leather fucking navy, or it was like a midnight blue.
Yeah, did he have the hair flowing though?
Yeah, he always has it. Manny looked a little hungover. He was sitting at breakfast with like 2 coffees already.
That'll happen.
D'Souza, he's a beauty.
What about what was Iggy saying? Any inklings about maybe joining the Flames? Did you try to do? Did you put your media hat on for a second?
I don't think he wasn't going to give me much about that, but he did show a little excitement that his boy was the new GM and that he thinks it's a great move for the team and that Craig Conroy's excited, but his schedule just immediately filled up all summer. Right? He's like, it's from now the draft to free agency to the summer camp to learning about all his young players, his scouts, his new coaching staff. He's going to have to put it like it's a full. This isn't just like coming in and everything's in place. Like I feel like the Calgary Flames are going to use him and his network to build, a new team around, a new kind of full organization.
Scouts would be not that I'm ever going to be a GM, but scouts would be the guys that would be high on my list. I want to talk to all my scouts because ultimately those are the guys you got to lean on. Yeah. Right? You got to trust that these guys are out watching. You got to trust that they're looking for the same kind of player that you want. Like scouts are so important to the success of a franchise.
Now, would you, if you were a GM, would you just talk to your head scout or would you try to be talking to all your scouts? Because everyone's going to try to one up each other. Like, I know this kid's fucking better than that kid. Like, would you just trust one head guy? No, put it all faith in him and he's got to do the fucking the legwork?
No, I would probably fire the head scout and bring in one of my buddies.
Yeah.
If it wasn't one of my buddies, I'd probably, maybe not fire him, but
Yeah,
I would demote him. I would demote him probably, unless it was somebody I knew or respected. But my head scout would have to be somebody that I really, really trusted, that saw the game the same as me. But what I would do is I'd fly all my scouts in, which I don't know if Conway, if that's a thing, but like, boys, fly into, let's say we're with the Ducks, fly into Anaheim. Let's, maybe we go play golf one day and we're gonna have a dinner. We're all gonna sit in a room and we're just gonna go around and shoot the shit. I think you can get a feel for that.
Yeah.
More than one-on-one, no?
No, totally. Yeah. But it's just, again, it's probably, I don't know how many guys you have. You have 6, 7, 8 scouts covering different areas of North America.
I don't know. That's a good question.
But like, you want to fucking listen to all these
you got to get the European scouts in there too.
Yeah.
Fuck, I forgot about the European scouts.
And then like you got pro scouts, you got junior scouts, you got fucking scouts, checking out for broads, and you got other guys.
I would just try to steal a couple scouts from the Red Wings that are like, I'm like, how do we get one of those, because they just get the best Swedish players ever. So let's try to hire one of those guys. Let's get them in. Mm-hmm. Right. And then who has good Russian players? Washington or Tampa?
Who was our guy that we used to talk to?
Oh, fuck. Jerry Greenstein.
Fuck, he had a few good ones.
He had a few good. I'd call him up and be like, what do you got for me, fella?
Yeah.
I can't imagine the work that Connie's going through right now, though. In all seriousness, it's got to be like, whoa.
Yeah,
right?
Totally.
Eye-opening.
It's great, though. That's part about being a young GM. And I think for guys like you and me, it's about time that things start to change, where guys we played against and guys we have respect for mutually, and they probably back with us, are now taking over teams and responsibilities. And I think the time has come. Yeah. It needs to happen.
We're getting old.
The boys club it's over.
Let us in the boys club. I want to say, go ahead.
I do need to finish off talking about Kamloops, because there was a lot of fucking, where's Obi talk? There's Updogg. Well, I walked into the bar the first night I got there, and this kid's like, he's got a chew in his mouth. He's looking at me, and I'm like, how you doing, buddy? He's like, oh my God. I'm like, you all right? He's like, yeah. He's like, I don't even know what to fucking say to you. He's like, where's Obi? And then I'm like, fuck, Obes couldn't make it. This is a last minute trip because, since Florida's in the finals now, we kind of switched things up. So we were going to go to the finals. Yeah. And he's like, fuck. Oh, fuck, man. I don't even know what to say. You want to have a shot? I'm like, yeah, I'll have a fucking shot. So and then, this kid plays in the Coast, and then I meet a bunch of his buddies, and next thing you know, we're having beers at their house and playing pool.
That's fucking great.
Throwing the chips around.
Yeah.
To this one kid, he's a realtor in town. He played lacrosse. He's a stud lacrosse player, but hilarious fucking guy, right? Pinned. And he's got a saxophone that he bought at this party, $250 saxophone. He's going around trying to go. That was great, man. It brought me back a bit.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Giving back to the community by showing up at these boys' parties. Yeah.
What sound did the saxophone make?
No, that's the only sound he could come out of it. It is actually pretty impressive that you can actually make a sound come out of that thing. It's got fucking 30 or 40 little fucking dials on it. Have you ever held a saxophone
It'd be
before?
nice to fucking strum a saxophone.
That's one of the best instruments going.
Yeah, it'd be nice to
M83, Midnight City, when that fucking saxophone comes on.
You can snap it around.
It's insane.
Well, just so you know, when I go back to Ontario, I get that too.
Where's Updogg?
Where's Updogg? Like they feel like, I'm like, fuck, probably with his kids or I don't know, his busy schedule. I don't know where the Updogg is, but I always get that when I go back to Ontario too. But I wanted to ask you about the barn in Kamloops. Looks like a great barn.
Great barn.
Like, not like old school. Redone it though?
They're redone. Well, I'll tell you what they redid. I think they redid a visiting locker room a little while back, because we used to be the old like Pittsburgh Penguin igloo. You had to kind of cross. Like our new dressing room we built when I was there was opposite side to where our benches were. So a little funky. But what was nice is these suites, like 2 levels of upper deck suites.
Saw that, yeah.
And, hockey's it's all about the fans in the stands, right? Creating that atmosphere and the buzz, because that's usually what you hear. But I think for this Memorial Cup, Kamloops and the city of Kamloops did an incredible job with the atmosphere in and around the arena. And just that barn, I had a few tucks in that barn.
I know. You were the fucking you were like the up and coming fucking.
It was nice to go back, but I'm in there. I don't remember a whole lot when I was back there.
Doesn't surprise me.
I don't remember a whole lot. 20 years though, eh?
That's a long time.
I was just a kid. People ask like, oh, how was the city when you're here? I'm like, I was a fucking 16-year-old, 17-year-old kid. Like, it's different if you're an adult and someone's asking you about the city. You kind of know, I don't know, how to get around or where the restaurants are. This, when you're like in high school, it's fucking different.
Do they all come back to you though? Like, where you're like, wow.
Yeah, I went down a trip down memory lane, kind of cruising around. Went to a gym one morning and then like kind of looked around where I used to live. And My billet mom actually was like, she was out of town, but stop at the house. Keys are in the garage if you want to cruise around to where you used to go. Cause I was kind of like, I had the morning off. I was like, what should I do?
For sure.
So
no, that's why you went. That's why you went.
Yeah.
Listen, fucking Kamloops pumped the Peterborough Pete's 10-2. The rink's called the Sandman Center, right?
Used to be called Riverside Coliseum back then, but Tom Gallardi, owner of the Dallas Stars, who now owns this team, that's his franchise, Sandman Hotels.
That's right.
And
that's
the Moxies.
Right. Yeah, there's always a Moxie beside a Sandman.
That's right.
Right? I had to stay in a Sandman Hotel when I got sent down to the jungle back to Abbotsford, but at least there was a Moxie's right there.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a lot of chickie at Moxie's. So what is Peterborough done? They've lost 2 games. Does that mean they're done? They play tonight. They play the Quebec Ramparts and Patty Wall, but you lose 2, you're probably out, no?
I think, no, there's a play-in game.
Of course
if they can beat Quebec and Quebec loses again, then I think there could be a play-in game for the semis.
So they're going to need some help here because Quebec hasn't lost yet. Quebec beat Seattle 3-1. They kicked the shit out of the Kamloops, the game you were at.
Yeah.
So if they beat that, I guess if they beat them, they're still in. Then they probably need, I don't know, Kamloops to lose or Seattle.
That's right. Well, if both teams are 1-2, I don't think it goes to a head-to-head matchup. And someone's going to just correct us on our socials.
Well, fuck, we don't know.
Yeah, but I think, someone was telling me that there's a finals that one team, automatic team, which looks like it's going to be Quebec, gets into the finals. And then the semis are the day before the finals. But if there's a play-in game necessary, that happens like
Thursday.
The day before that.
Thursday, June 1st.
There you go.
Yeah. It's a fun tournament. I got to pull up right here. Yeah. I got to pull up right here.
So it says like play-in game? It says like a play-in game?
No, it just says TBD.
Okay. Nice.
Thursday, June 1st, TBD. The semis are Friday, June 2nd. And then the final is Sunday, June 4th. So fun tournament. I'm glad you got up there. I thought it was a good call by you. Did you see Patty Waugh?
I could see him from the bench. Yeah, from the bench. Yeah, he coached a good game. The fucking team's good. And by the way, Stefan Robert, I owe him $500.
You do, eh?
Canadian. I bet him right before the game. Edmondson is his. He's the D coach in Calgary. So Eddie's like, that's his coach.
Robert is.
Yep.
In Montreal, you mean?
Yeah, what did I say? Calgary?
Yeah.
I meant Montreal.
Yeah, Montreal.
And his kid plays on the team. And his kid had a great pass in the first
I did notice Robot's kid's name out there. So I was wondering that.
Yeah, he's a good player. Yeah. Made a couple of great plays and then they ran away with the game.
Yeah, they're just flying around. They're just typical Quebec Frenchie team. They're just flying around.
Kamloops
Somebody cross-check them.
Kamloops hasn't played in 4 weeks.
No, I know.
Tough to get out there when you're...
I was a little shocked. The jerseys they were wearing, I was looking forward to seeing the old school Blazer jersey. I haven't watched any other game but the one you were at. Because I like those old school Kamloops jerseys.
We used to have baby blue pants. Wow. We used to wear like a white, navy blue, arm, orange, and baby blue pants with a baby blue helmet. It was actually badass. Wow. They were badass unis back in junior.
I Googled the city when you're in New York. It looks like a nice little British Columbia city too, like tucked in the mountains a little bit.
It's nice little working town, but great river, great golf courses.
Does it just rain there in the winter like Van? Is it the same kind of thing?
No, it's snow. It's up there. You're not far from Merritt or Revelstoke or whatever. You're kind of
you're up there.
You're up there. Yeah, it's a good town.
Well, I'm glad you had a good time, buddy. I am going to try to catch a couple of these games down the stretch. From what I heard, Seattle might be the team to beat, but the Quebec boys are looking pretty good. So, Uppy's World, party time. Curfew Call, Maxie. What do you got for us, fella?
We got our boy Rick Rowley.
Oh, wow.
Hey, guys. Rick Rowley here. Huge fan of the podcast. Listen, I want to ask you about that Toronto Maple Leafs and Kyle Dubas drama. Did you see that fucking article that was published in The Athletic where apparently MLSC staff who remain anonymous were mourning the loss of Kyle Dubas like he fucking died or something? Are you shitting me? Boys, did anyone ever get traded and you guys were fucking crying about it? Like,
yeah, me.
Mixing a salad every once in a while. How come no one was mourning the loss of fucking Lou Lamoriello getting fired? Right? I don't know if it's because, like, the guy's, like, fucking 100 or anything like that. Granted, like, Kyle Dubas isn't a bad-looking guy, but this is pretty fucking soft, no?
There you have it, folks.
Yeah, I think you answered your own question there, Rick. I was wondering how he was doing.
I didn't see the article, but I can understand, a bunch of soft fucks up there.
Yeah.
They're like probably,
Yeah.
They got tricked. They were drinking some stupid fucking potion up there, weren't they? Or
I don't know. I heard Brian Burke talking about it. I think he was on with Kipper.
Yeah.
And basically kind of what we said. Like once you have a GM, you hear a GM say, I don't know if I want to be the GM of the hockey club moving forward because of my family or whatever, fine. But once you hear that as a president, your ears perk up. And then on top of that, to ask for more money as a president, and then above him, Berkey said his ownership right away. That's like, what's going on here? Yeah. So I think it was a straight business decision. I don't think it was anything more than that. They haven't had the results. You wanted more cash. See you later.
Do you think he's got something? Obviously, the Wasserman issues all week. You heard about that, right? Like the agencies kind of getting looked at by the NHL.
Because you have the same agent as Austin Matthews.
And a few others. And I'm sure like these guys, they're probably calling around saying like, you need a new GM. We might have one available. What's, this is going to be the price. Like there's probably a lot of like tentacles that this has. But do you think like Kyle Dubas went into this saying like, there's probably more opportunity and less fucking heat I take if I go somewhere else for more cash?
Probably.
Deep down, I feel like this guy's calculated and he speaks. He's not just going to throw fucking shit everywhere on the wall. Like he speaks pretty direct.
Yeah.
There has been something more to the story. I will say this, a guy I know very well, may have been at the party this weekend or hosted it, was saying that he heard that Dubas was pissed off that Shanny had been Xing a bunch of his moves that he'd like to do like down the stretch. And that's why he was on the fence of coming back. Like he didn't have total control of making the moves and that bothered him. That
would bother me if I was a GM. Like that, my job, you hired me. I mean, you can always go to your president and ask for his input, obviously. But at the end of the day, listen, I just think I would have liked Kyle Dubas on the press conference to be like, listen, we tried. It's not going to work out. I'm going to move on.
Totally. 5 years. To me, we didn't even do anything.
To me, it would have been like, I love these kids. I gave them every opportunity. They gave me everything they had. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. I'm going to take some time with my family and move on. That would have been the manly thing to do. Not like, I got to talk to my wife and see what's going on and fuck off.
Be like, sorry, you guys only have Austin Matthews for another year.
Yeah.
For another year.
I mean, come on.
He bent me over the coils.
Yeah.
And then basically, he didn't draft these guys.
No.
He was given Marner and Matthews.
Yeah. Why don't we bring Berkey back in? Give Berkey one more crack.
Berkey drafted him, right? Or was it Lou Lamoriello drafted? Lou
Lamoriello, I think, drafted him. Yeah. But like a guy like Dave Nonis, who's already been in Toronto, who got hired in Calgary. I don't know. I mean, I thought Brad Treliving was done there. I had heard rumors through people that I know that the deal was done, and it still hasn't. Like, what are they waiting for? They need to get a GM going here. Like, enough of Kyle Dubas, right? Like, Rouse, we appreciate the call, but it's over.
I think Shanny's probably making the calls right now.
I just heard they want a veteran DM, a veteran GM.
They do. Yeah, they need it. Guy with thick skin.
Yeah.
Right.
Someone that can handle the media.
Yeah. Smart.
Right? Yeah. That's what Berkey at least had that intimidation factor with the Toronto media that they would not run all over him because you could like kind of look at him like, fuck you kind of thing. Right.
Yeah, I agree.
But Curfew Call. Thank you, Rick Rowley. I know you're good to see you're doing all right. Top Titty. I don't think I played this week. Did any of you guys play?
I think all of us did. Yeah.
I can't fucking see it on my phone, but I thought I put my squad in.
I definitely didn't. I was flying to Kamloops. I don't think I was. Or maybe I did.
Scotty, you came in 8th.
Oh yeah, fuck! I thought that was 2 weeks ago.
You got the standings there? You got the standings there, Max?
I did. I saw that pop up. Your winner chicken dinner this weekend.
Who was the winner, Max? I can't find it on my phone. Sorry, bud.
Brento beat me by 0.6.
Yeah, Brento came in 6th.
Captain.
Our winner was KM 2939.
How many points did he have?
118. Won by 2 points. Wow. The second place.
You had Eichel and Robinson.
Eichel and Robertson. What game was that? Was that game 4?
That was Thursday night.
Yeah, game 4. Right?
Stinger, Pavelski,
Dallas
and
won
OT.
3-2.
Yeah, game 4. And then Vegas
I was watching that on the airplane, and I was like,
laid a fucking egg in game 5 that cost me some Sazich. But anyways, Top Titty, keep it going. It's fun. Updogg, I'm glad you got in. I had you chalked up as missing it because I knew you were traveling.
I got it in.
Miss it, but
I got it in.
Updogg, real quick, and Maxie, jump if you want. Enter to win, Updogg. Where can they go? Where can they find it? All that good stuff, buds.
www.obsmissinccurfew.com. That's funny how I said that, but you can find it on our website. Jump in. I think we have till Friday. So this comes out Thursday.
Get on it.
Stanley Cup Finals are right above it, like right around the corner.
I think Mike Richards has signed up, by the way. I told him, I said, Richie, listen, we can send you one if you want. He said, no, I'll sign up. That's the type of guy Mike Richards is.
That's my boy Mike Close too, Spinnaker.
Yeah.
Home development here in Newport Beach. What a swing on him. He's been signing up all his boys. Listen, the more times you sign up with your email and with your friends' emails, the more, what do you call it? Tokens?
Entries. Yeah.
Get some tokens.
Get some fucking tokens. Get in there.
Some fun coupons. Hey, those are good in Vegas and Florida.
You got till Friday. Great job by TaylorMade. Great job here by Paul Pass Media. So get in there. Try to win some sick golf stuff. So we'll be right back. Welcome back to Missin Curfew. Updogg, we're just talking about the entry to win. Tee Times presented by our good friends at TaylorMade Golf. Let's start with the Dallas Stars. I'll go first here. This is a team that I honestly thought was going to lose in the first round. I thought the Minnesota Wild were going to beat them. I thought they lacked a little bit of team speed, which I think they proved me wrong. I thought they were a little bit on the softer side, which they proved me wrong. Great resilience. We all know what happened with Ben. I took a lot of heat thinking, I thought maybe he should have got maybe one more game, but I would have been okay with him just missing game 3 and letting him come back. Didn't have a great series. Ottinger for me, I think is, if I'm looking at it as Jim Neal and Pete DeBoer, a little concerned with his inconsistency. But I mean, this team is they got their core guys, and I think they'll be backups.
Yeah, no, it's well said. So starting off with the goalie, obviously we got a taste of him last year in Calgary, where he stood on his head, 55 shots in Game 7, right? Like just played unbelievable and was a breakout star last year. Obviously the ISOCAM was on him a lot. He played great in some of these games.
Yeah.
And in some of the elimination games without Jamie Benn in Game 4 and Game 5, I thought Ottinger he was the difference maker. He made some timely saves. Vegas kind of was getting frustrated, couldn't get pucks, couldn't get to the net. So it was a good test by their whole team. Robertson for me as a kid, like, does he have enough jam to play in the Eastern Conference Finals and be a guy that like everyone leans on?
Yeah.
Like, cause he's their guy. He's their goal scorer in the regular season. Can he do what Matty Tkachuk's doing right now? Can he do what, looking at Vegas, like what Marcia Schultz's doing? Like, can he just elevate his game that much more? Cause his team's going to need it. They're not getting any younger, and you say Jamie Benn and Seg. So, both of those guys didn't have a great Eastern Conference Final, and they could have been the difference in it. Right.
Yeah. I mean, and Seggs has got 4 more years at 9.8. Jamie Benn's got 2 more years at 9.5. But then they got Rope Hintz locked in. They got Robertson locked in for 3 years. They got Hiskinen locked in on their back end. Sutsi's got 1 more year. So they got their core together.
Yeah. No,
but I think you're right. When I look at Rope Hintz, I don't think he had a great Western Conference Final either. Now, him and Robertson, they're guys. Can they be those guys? Yeah. I think Rope Hintz can. I'm not sold on Robertson. I'm with you. Like, I don't know. But lucky for him, he does have Rope Hintz, because I think Hintz can be, I'm not going to say Matty Tkachuk, but he can be maybe that guy as he matures that he takes over. And this is my squad.
He's like a Marian Hossa. Plays exactly like him. He's a big, strong ox. And shout out to, Max Domi, who
I was literally just circling his name.
Friend of the pod. I thought he elevated his game to where the team needed a spark, and he was a big reason in Game 4 that they came back and won.
Big time.
I hope he signs there. I think he looks good in Dallas Stars uni. I think they could use him. I think he well earned like a 2, maybe 3-year deal from them.
For sure.
That's the way I feel about that.
Yeah, good. I was just going to ask you that. Because he was a guy that on this podcast, I pleaded to teams. I said Vegas. I said Toronto. I'm like, go out and get this kid. Like, he's a playoff guy. He's fast. He's big. He did it all. He played great for them. Dadonov, they probably will let go. Glendening, and then the 2 Finns, Hakanpää on the back end, and the other kid up front. But we'll see. I mean, Jim Neal's a smart hockey guy, besides the fact that he didn't sign you. That was one of his biggest mistakes. But there's also some rumors that Ottinger was playing with some injury. So
I'm sure.
Well, we got to cut him some slack there.
Well, we're going to find that out today.
Yeah.
Today is media day for the Dallas Stars. They're all packing up their stuff, getting ready to tee it up.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have a few of the guys on, send them some drivers, TaylorMade, Stealth 2.
Get them out there and play Dallas National with a TaylorMade Stealth
great
driver.
Season, boys. Here's a couple new drivers. Let's go.
Yeah, I would think if you're Jim Neal, Pete DeBoer, and the core guys that we talked about, like, right? What is it, June 1st here today, or a couple days? Take a couple weeks off, get back in the gym, get excited to come back to training camp. I think this team proved that they're heading in the right direction. They need a couple little tinkers, but they proved me wrong. They're a better hockey club than I thought they were. So.
Yeah, and good coaching, right?
Yeah.
So with a good coach like that, you can, you're going to elevate your game. You're going to realize big moments. You're going to, I think their team it looks like a tight team, and they got through 2 tough rounds.
Yeah, they did. Right? And I think they're heading in the right direction. And I think Jamie Benn will come back motivated, ready to rock. So I think better days ahead for the Dallas Stars. Moving on, Tea Times presented by TaylorMade. Carolina Hurricanes, Updogg. Just your thoughts on them and moving forward. I mean, they seem like every year we're talking about, they're good, but.
Well, there's obviously the one thing that sticks out to me is the Rob Brindamore, the interview after the emotional interview, talking about, history's going to look at this and say we got swept. And we didn't get swept. I was there. Well, we were there too because we all had money on. We were doing our thing. We watched all the games. Mm-hmm. The games were tight, but you got to find ways to win. And if you don't win one game in a series, it's called getting swept. I don't care how do you look at it.
Yeah,
you played 4 more games than the team that you beat out previous round. So for me, I think they got to focus on signing their captain Staal. I think he's still got game left, and he's emotional leader. He's been there before. He's won. You want to keep him around. Can Pacioretty at his age jump back from a second Achilles tear? They need goal scoring.
Big time.
They need goal scoring. They need big time plays by, Aho tried to do everything he could, almost to the point where he was working too hard, and that's not his game. And he didn't have there wasn't any firepower. They got goal scoring in the second round, Obi, from Martinook and all these guys. And when that shut down against Florida, they didn't have anything.
I know. Exactly. And listen, they all got 1 year left. Aho's got 1 year left. Teravainen's got 1 year left. Kotkaniemi, they got signed up. Martinook, Nashis. You talked about Jordan Staal. And for me, this is one I think that gets done with a little bit of a hometown discount. He'll come back. What are they going to do with Freddie Anderson? That's money. I love Freddie. I thought he played unbelievable. Ranta's unrestricted free agent too, but I think you probably let Freddie walk and use that money towards what you just said, goal scoring. Now, Pacioretty, he's UFA. To me, sucks. Can't bring him back. Though after Achilles and everything else, he's been hurt. Safe to say, yes, you pull Arvi.
He's, who knows? He's back. Is he already back in Finland?
Your boy Stas. Listen, I think they need some toughness. I'm going to throw a name out there. Milan Lucic. It's a guy that I think if you get Lucic on your fourth line and they need scoring up front. You're right. You nailed it on the head. And they still need... And this is no disrespect to any of the guys. They play hard. They compete. They still got to get a little tougher to me, like a little bit tougher. Like, Martinook, I love. They compete. They play hard. Some more size and scoring to that team. Updogg to me.
I love their D though. I had them going into this last round. I'm like, these guys are big, and they're scoring, and tough building to play in. They're kind of on a mission, right? Like they were but Florida, man. I mean. You lost to a hell of a team, a team that's fucking kicking everyone's ass. So you can't feel that bad. And I guess I'll side on Brindamore's presser where he talks about that. But you got to find a way to win those first 2 games at home. You hit a crossbar in overtime in game 1. The kid had an open net.
Fast. Jasper Fast hit the crossbar that went straight down.
Right,
straight down. Or Jarvis, was it?
Jarvis. It was Jarvis. Yeah, just right in front of the net. I mean, it's those are what really, unfortunately, that's what caused their fucking season to be over.
And if you want me to be honest, and Gretter said this in game 1 where he was almost falling asleep we were all falling asleep in the fourth overtime. That loss hurt Carolina more than it would have hurt Florida, right? Because they had home ice, and I just don't think they recovered from that.
Big time.
And you're right, the way they were playing. I took Florida series, but what it's like when you don't have a pure sniper, like a go-to guy, Matty Tkachuk that could take over. And Sebastian Aho tried his hardest.
I know he did.
They played the Islanders in the first round. Islanders couldn't score either. The Devils, I think, blew their load against the Rangers. And then it finally came to a team. It was like, okay, boys, we need guys that can bury it. And I'm sitting here with 13 career goals. I don't know fuck all about scoring, but you have 180. You know a little bit more than me. You got to have guys that can bury it, right?
Yeah, totally.
And they just lacked that.
I agree.
And Don Waddell, you went out and you tried to get Timo Meier at the deadline. And I don't know Don Waddell. I respect everything he's done. And the ownership, man, get off your fucking wallet. All right? You get the best fan base, one of the best fan bases in the league. Get to the fucking cap. Spend your fucking money here. They need guys that are big time performers, and they will get a second cup in Carolina.
Because this run's not going to last forever. No, they're on a 6-year run.
Dude, and if you look at it, right? And I mean, their D, you say you love their D. Slavin, 2 more years. Burns, 2 more years. Brady Shea last year. And the other guys, I think Pesci, is that how you say his name? Yeah. Last year of his deal. They got this team's window, it's fucking coming to an end here. They got another year, basically. So go for it.
Yeah.
Give her.
I agree.
Like, give somebody some money. Get a little tougher. I don't know. What
Toughness wins. Look at these two teams in the
Matty
finals.
Tkachuk in there. Fucking
this
Sam Bennett.
Gudis just running around,
Gudis,
running
man.
everybody.
Did you see the clip of him? He's like, I'm going to knock the mustache off you.
It's impressive what he's doing.
It is.
Pretty wild.
It is. Tea Times, like I said, thanks to our good friends at TaylorMade. Once again, enter to win, www.missincurfew.com. The Milk Carton, presented by our good friends at Life Force, promo code Curfew for 20 off. I don't give a fuck that it was a week later. I'm using names this time too. All right? Wes McCauley, I love you. I think you're a great ref. Dan O'Rourke. Listen, you cannot fucking call that penalty in game 4 when the Carolina Hurricanes come all the way back. Were they going to win the series upbeat? They were not going to win the series. But they deserve the right to maybe play in overtime to take it back to game 5 in front of their fucking diehard fans. You don't call a hook on a veteran guy. The puck continued to move on. Is it a penalty by the rules by the NHL rulebook? Maybe. Human element has to come in. Dan O'Rourke.
Yeah.
I'm putting you on the fucking Milk Carton. You know better than that to call that penalty. I think if you ask the Panthers deep down in their gut, they probably didn't even want to win like that. Although it was a sick selly by Matty. Updogg, let the boys play. Dan O'Rourke, you're on the Milk Carton.
Yeah, well said. That was a stinger for me too, by the way. That was one where I was just like, yeah, I thought Carolina was going to bring it back. I thought they were going to bring it back. I was kind of betting with more of like an educational, like be in the situation. Like, do I want Florida to be in the finals? Yes, of course. But do I think they're, going to run through Carolina in 4 and then to lose it like that? Like, it was a great goal too, by the way.
That is a great goal.
Great goal. Like patience,
but
bury it, posting in, boom. But fucking, you're right. Dan O'Rourke.
Come on, man. Like,
yeah.
And you know what? Listen, they probably weren't going to win, but to get swept as ex-player, like getting swept fucking stings.
No,
and for these guys, they were having such a hard time scoring goals that we just talked about in tea times. They fucking fall. They get a greasy one where I think it was Fast, puts it between Bennett's skates and it just goes past Bob. And it's like, all right, they just take a deep breath on the bench. Like, we got overtime. And then you call, people are like, well, Staal shouldn't put a stick in there. I will agree with that. He should have just went in and fucking drilled Frozen in the fucking corner as hard as he could have. Yeah. But he's just trying to.
I know. It's a joke. The stick on puck now, it creates so many more tripping calls. It's a joke.
Like, I don't want to see a series ended like that. I don't know. I felt bad for him. I had my money on Florida in the series and the game, and I was still pissed. So, Dan O'Rourke on the Milk Carton.
I got a Milk Carton. It's so I was in Kamloops Airport flying home, and I caught the semifinal World Championship game between the U.S. and Germany. And the U.S. gave up a goal late. Yeah. Germany ties it. And 3-on-3 overtime, by the way, in the World Championship, like those playdowns.
Right off the get-go.
3-on-3.
Wow.
So a lot of action. And U.S., I'm putting you on the Milk Carton because you end up losing to Germany and then you lost to Latvia, who I want to congratulate them, by the way. This is the first time they've ever medaled at the World Championships. And by the fucking look of their capital, they went
Riga,
buck diddy.
Buddy.
They were going buck diddy. If you couldn't get laid after that, I don't know. Turn it in.
No, listen, Riga's supposed to be an unbelievable city, bro.
So the USA, you're on the Milk Carton. Congratulations to Latvia for the bronze medal. And then we'll get in here shortly about our boy, Weegsy.
Yeah, well done. That looked like an unbelievable time. I tried to play in Riga. They're like one of a shitty team in the KHL, but I didn't care. I'm like, I just wanted to get there. Fortunately, didn't work out. But Milk Carton presented by our friends at Life Force. Moving right in to get this guy a beer. Sponsored by our good friends at Labatt Blue. Check it out. Get him in ya. Get this guy a beer. First of all, I'm just going to say Matty Tkachuk again. I've been giving him blue lights all fucking playoffs, but I'm going to just continue to give Matty Tkachuk beers.
And got to keep him hydrated.
I got to keep him hydrated. I want to say Eric Staal, get this guy a blue light.
Yeah.
Back-to-back Stanley Cup Finals with a year off in between.
Who'd he go with the first one?
Montreal.
He did.
In the bubble.
Wow.
Was that the bubble? No, that was the North Division. God, I hated the North Division.
Yeah, the fucking
he was
Canada
with Montreal.
Division.
He was with.
How about they had to play Vegas in the conference finals? That's so weird.
You know how much money I lost in that fucking series? Remember Vegas steamrolled the Avs? I'm like, they're going to kill Montreal. Well, sorry for coming. See you later.
How are you?
How are you? But imagine that a year off and then going back. I don't know. Fuck, I used to take a month off and I felt like I couldn't skate. That's just impressive to me that he's back into a Stanley Cup final.
I agree. Yeah, get him a beer.
Get him a blue light.
What about the boys on Vegas? Who do you want?
Yeah, Wild Bill.
9
goals he's got.
Wow.
9 goals
Billy
he's got.
Carlson.
Wild Bill Carlson, and this Nick Waugh kid. Big right hand, good play. They got listen. They got this shutdown line. We're going to get into the finals here, but they got Carlson, Waugh, and Riley Smith.
Yeah.
You look back at teams that won Stanley Cups that had third lines like that, or like they got something going there. Yeah, Niedermeyer, Paulson, Moen.
Yeah.
So, and then last but not least for me, listen, I took some heat from some fucking guys, right? O'Brien, you never played on the World Championships. O'Brien, you don't know what it's like to represent your fucking country. Well, no shit, fuckheads. I didn't. But I know one thing: you can't fucking lose to Norway, all right? And they did. But I'm gonna say the milk carton bump got them going.
Yeah, it did.
Congrats to Team Canada. Get those boys a blue light. They found a way to get it done. They were partying hard after they won. And last but not least, my boy Weegsy, baby, top D man, Weegsy baby, get a blue light. Looked like they were having a time up, dog.
I'll tell you one thing, just about standout in the final game for me was this Uyghur with the puck and what he was doing with it. He was so patient. That big ice suits him well. I tell you what, like there was guys would try to come out at him, try to take the puck on them, and he was just toe dragging, like kind of patient, made the right play every time. A well-deserved top D-man honor. And just, it was nice to see Canada hoist that puppy again. I'm sure all those guys, lifetime memories, kids, wives there, parents, looked like a blast. Yeah, sure, they let it eat after.
And you always say that about World Champions, how it's a family feel, and you did see that. Like I think Weeks even had some buddies in, and they were celebrating. I still think they can get a better World Championship trophy. Maybe it looks a little small or something.
Yeah, it's not a huge mug. No. There's some history.
Did you guys win it or
no? We lost to Mother Russia.
Russia's.
Yeah,
Russia's been owning you, right? They cost you a World Championship.
They got me 3 times.
They cost you World Juniors.
2 World Juniors and lost in the finals by 1 goal each time.
I think I know this. Would you, if you could have one, would you rather have the World Junior or the World Championship?
World Junior. Yeah. Halifax.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
but no, they all sting in their own way. But I got the Spangy. I got the Spangy. Yeah, so we're back.
He's got the.
I finished the champion. That's all that matters. Steger, we went out swinging, but they take us out back behind the shed and put bullets in us after that. But
that was it. I guess one thing about Canada losing to Norway and they lost to Switzerland, but Swiss has been coming for a long. They got a great hockey nation, a great league. Swiss is a legit hockey club. I guess it's coming. Like Latvia's good. I mean, this is a worldwide game now, right?
Yeah, it sure is.
Like maybe it's just not as easy. I still don't think you can lose to Norway, but Latvia getting to those.
I don't think there's too much intimidation anymore having to face like the US or having to face Russia or Canada. Like I think these teams now, they're
not scared of us, eh?
They see the chinks in the armor. These boys are getting drunk over here the whole week. Let's get them.
Yeah. It's almost to me like that Team Canada just like once the round robin was over, they're like, all right, boys, here we go. Because they had to play the Finns in the first quarterfinal. And I got to be honest with you, Weeksy baby, I apologize. I thought they were going to lose to Finland. And then they beat Finland. I'm like, here we go.
Yeah.
And then who'd they beat? Sweden or?
I'm not sure the middle round there. Like when they.
Yeah. So no, but quarterfinal. No, so they beat Finland. Then they beat Latvia. Then they beat Germany.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
So once they got by Finland, they're probably like, all right, boys, this is ours to fucking take down, right?
Yeah, for sure.
That's a nice feather in their cap for all of them, right? Especially all the 3 Calgary guys, Toffoli, Luch, and Weezy.
Toffoli, yeah.
Good little thing for them. Something to build off of.
That young kid from Michigan had a nice little series
Unbelievable. Too. By the way, if you're Ducks fans, and I came on here tripping that it was rigged, this Fantelli kid, he looked unbelievable.
Yeah.
Pat Verbeek, if you're having any, that's the guy.
Oh, I wanted to talk to you about this too at the World Kamloops. This Zellweger kid. He is fucking nasty, he plays here for the Ducks.
Yeah, D-man.
And he's small, but he plays like Quentin Hughes, and he doesn't want to come off the ice, and he makes great plays, and he's fucking shifty. Yeah, it's impressive to watch. I haven't watched a young D-man skate like this.
Left-handed shot, right?
Left-handed shot.
Put him with Drysdale.
He's gonna be. He's small, but he's gonna be effective right off the hop. He moves like you're watching him. I bet you size him up against some older guys who don't move quite as well.
See ya.
He's gone. He's beating you around the corners and the edges, and he's shifty, right? He fucking takes you on one-on-one, and so he's a good young player.
See, that's cool. And we go, we talk about scouting. Like you go see one live game of this kid, and you notice him like right away, right? Like if you watch on TV, you don't notice that. That's why going to games and watch this young guy, and you're like right away as an ex-player, like holy fuck, this kid's special.
Yeah.
So we could scout, is what I'm saying.
If we can scout.
If push comes to shove, we could scout.
I mean, we were great scouts and we go up to Hollywood Hills there. A few nights. Boys, I got a pair.
Yeah,
These ones are up in Commerce area.
And you know what? They're third rounders, but they're ready to play right now.
Yeah. Good shot. Yeah. Makes the right pass.
They're ready to put in the lineup right now. So that was awesome. Get your guy a beer. Blue Light. Get him in, you fellas. The Rumor Mill, presented by Canadips. Promo code Curfew Cali. Shout out to my producer at NHL SiriusXM, Bruce Bolton. Bruce Bolton says, William Nylander for Tom Wilson. I mean, what do you think of that?
Brucey boy.
What's
he getting his info from? Or is
I
that
think that's just a fan of the Leafs, a good Ontario boy. I love the trade for the Leafs. If you could get Tom Wilson in there, I don't know if Willie wants to leave Washington. You know,
I would say he'd be honored to play for the Leafs.
Yeah, but do you think he wants to be there as Ovi chases down the record? Like, he's been with Ovi such a long time. Do you think he might? I don't know if he has a no move. I can check right here. But stand by.
That's a good question, but I would say that's not going to keep him. If there's a trade on the table and it's a chance for him to go play for the Buds, I'd say he's in.
Tom Wilson, modified no trade clause. So he's got every 1 year left, Updogg at 5.1.
Every July 1, he probably hands in his list of 8 teams. I bet you Toronto's on one.
Probably, right?
Yeah.
That to me would be, I mean, a lot of people think it's going to be Marner, but I mean, Tom Wilson is exactly what the Leafs need.
Yeah.
I mean, all other 31 NHL teams need Tom Wilson, to be honest with you.
And I mean, Nylander's a great player. I think he needs a change, to be honest.
You think so? He'd be great in Washington too with fucking Ovi. That'd be great.
Yeah, Backstrom and Obi.
Imagine him just coming, because Nylander's so good at he loves playing in the perimeter, as all Leaf fans know, but he can come across, and he's one of the best in the league at going across the box. So imagine him just sliding over to Ovi on the power play or whatever. So wanted to give Brucey some love. To me, if I'm whoever the new GM is, that's something. Elliot Friedman, rumor that Corey Perry is coming to the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Wow.
Bears.
Friedman's not really wrong about much.
No, well, fuck, he's making what? At least a banana a year. He better be right on what the fuck he's talking about. He's making more money than anyone. Pear's still going to play, yeah.
Fucking right. Why wouldn't he?
Yeah.
He played good.
He played good.
I mean, he gets by these seasons. It's not like a big toll on his body. He's, plays his 12 minutes a night.
Yeah, but if you're Pear's, you got enough money. He's probably made $100 million. You just say, hey, listen, sign me in January. Does Pear's need to play 82? I mean, I know why he wants to play 82, right? He wants to get on the road. And
he's padding his fucking legacy, Yeah. Oh, fuck. I mean,
no, I know. And listen, I think Corey Perry's another great fit for the Toronto Maple Leafs. When is enough's enough to, like, I know he loves going to the rink, but I don't know. Like, that's a long season, isn't it? Up 82
games.
I
fucking miss it every day.
I just know that when it was the best, when he had 1-1 in game 1, they're like, Corey Perry hasn't had a point in 21 games. Like, it's just like
he steps it up.
No, there's no doubt about it. I would love to see Pears in a Leafs uniform. This one for you here. Danny Briere says he's open to hearing offers about Katahat. What do you think about that, Updogg?
I think he's probably putting his own, staple on things here.
And Updogg, the Edmonton Oilers have been linked to maybe Carter Hart. What do you think of that, buds?
I think time is a ticking in Edmonton.
Time is a ticking. Had
they had a goalie that was, their top 3 players, they might still be playing the playoffs this year, but they don't. And with, we talk about this every day, but Connor McDavid and Draisaitl, if you don't have, the backing of a team now, you might as well just get rid of these guys. Yeah. It's like no sense to keep them. You're going to load up the farm and it's time. If you can't win the NHL because you don't have a goalie, or your D just aren't up to par, or your depth, just because you got the 2 best players. It sucks to say this, but how many more years do you string it out with them?
They got 2 more years.
I know.
Till Draisaitl's a free agent.
So yeah, they got to listen to the goalie thing.
I just don't think Carter Hart would, and this is no disrespect to Carter. We got to meet him a couple of years ago. We went up to conference finals. If I'm Kenny Holland, I don't know if I want a veteran guy. Like, if I'm going out to get a goalie.
You mean a guy that's won?
Or just a guy that's older. I don't know. Like, I asked Brian Harewood about John Gibson, and apparently Pat Verbeek's not going to trade John Gibson. Do you go out and sign Freddie Anderson? Would you rather have Carter Hart or Freddie Anderson?
Yeah, well,
I would say Freddie Anderson.
Yeah.
But you got Jack Campbell for 4 more years at $5 bananas a year. It's just like they needed Soupy to, maybe bounce back is probably what they're hoping for. I don't know.
Yeah, who's going to take that deal? Because if you bring in a goalie, you got to, these Oilers are cash in, cash out, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Fuck, you bring in Carter Hart, he's making more than Soupy.
I know.
So it's tricky. But back to the Danny Briere thing, I think he has a chance right now to put his, stamp on the way he wants to build his team and what he thinks this team's needed. He's obviously been there and watched these guys play for years. So it doesn't hurt to kind of load up on the picks.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Danny Briere's listening to everybody, every call that comes into him, he's listening to right now. I think we talked about it last week, but him, Jonesy with Briere and Torts, better days ahead. So we'll see. I can't wait for the Leafs to hire a GM to see what he's going to do. But that was the Rumor Mill presented by Canada Dips Lip Boomers. All right, Updogg, last but not least, we're here, fella. Stanley Cup Final between the Vegas Golden Knights and your former Florida Panthers. First thing I want to talk to you about, Ekblad with these flips. You're right. I mean, get this guy a 60-degree tailor-made fucking wedge. Oh, he's just flipping everything.
Everything.
So, I mean, I think it's something Vegas has got to be worried about.
I noticed it in the first or second round. It is impressive. I don't think he's fucked one of them up. And sorry if I jinx you here, Eki, but you have...
Rolls off his twig.
You have landed every flip at the center ice dot. And that, you as a D-man, that's what's worse than that? Getting the puck dumped in your corner? I mean, you're skating backwards trying to look up when you got 2 or 3 guys hunting you down. The pucks are bouncing.
Sucks.
And it's been effective for them.
It's been really effective. And once you'd said it, I've really started to notice it. And it's something that, I mean, he's just telling the forwards, listen, I'm going to get part of me, and I think Eki's been playing great and how he's changed his game. But part of me that's what's wrong with hockey. Like, we're just flipping pucks to the neutral zone and hoping for bounces. But they're trying to win the Stanley Cup. It's been something that's been working for them. And with the push, the pace that the Florida Panthers have with their forwards, it's a nightmare for the D. So we'll see if it continues.
And if you're not good at flipping them, you're going to fucking turn some pucks over like all the time. Like flipping a puck isn't the easiest thing, but he's got it pretty damn fucking mastered.
They got it. Yeah, he's got it mastered. And shout out to our boy, Matty Tkachuk, went on NBA TNT and he had an elbow room t-shirt on. I'm like, this guy's stock went up even more in my opinion. I'm like, what a fucking beauty. Paul Maurice said to them, this is going to be the best 2 weeks of our lives, which gave me goosebumps listening to. I want to touch on you. When Wayne Gretzky says something, I listen. Wayne Gretzky says, listen, you've earned the right to win that trophy. The Panthers picked up that Prince of Wales and Barkey carried it off. And I don't know, man. I like the way Vegas did it. Come in, you take your picture, you leave it there. Am I thinking too much into this ups or what?
So before last night as the game ended, I was sitting with Flowers and Loops at the house and I had Flowers look up on the TV if the Vegas Golden Knights touched it their first year. And they did.
They did.
They touched it their first year. They went to the finals. So I said, guaranteed they don't.
Yeah.
And sure as shit, they both went up and you could tell the way they looked at each other. They said, fucking stand behind this thing.
Yeah.
And I don't think the Blues touched it either. So Petro as a captain with the St. Louis Blues, he didn't touch it either. So for me, I was, witnessing both. I think the Florida Panthers are the team that's kind of defying all the odds and fucking kicking everyone's ass when underdogged. So they just have this mentality of let's just do something else to get the hockey world.
It's almost like they did it. Yeah. It's almost like they did it like, fuck you boys. We're taking this with us. Let's go.
Like there's kind of a confidence thing in that and a little bit of arrogance, but in a confident way. And I think the Florida Panthers are like, we just fucking rights. We just swept fucking the Eastern Conference Finals. Let's take this trophy. And now they weren't hoisting it, but they carried it around. Barkey was, he was a proud Russian that he had that thing in his hands, right?
Yeah. He
say Russian. He's Finnish Russian. But yes.
What would you have done?
I would have, I probably wouldn't have touched it.
Yeah.
I wish I had the chance to touch it.
Now, I mean, listen, the superstition, it has nothing to do with who's going to win the final. We know that. I was a little bit of a superstitious player. I look at more of a mindset as our job's not done.
Yeah.
And listen, the greatest player on the planet's right. You've earned that. They've earned that. No one will ever take that trophy away from them. And if you end up losing the Stanley Cup Finals, if we were teammates, me and you could be like, where's that fucking Eastern Conference trophy? We're fucking taking it out. Let's go. But I just think of a mindset that, it's great. We've won it, but this is not why we played. We got one more fucking thing to do. Come in here, have a picture with the boys. That's just how I feel about it. Like I loved watching Matty come in and touch it. I loved, like how proud they were they've won it. But to me, I guess I'm saying if I would have the opportunity, I would have been like, boys, don't fucking touch that thing. I don't know.
And I want to say there was a stat given out last night on air. Do you remember what it was? It said 10 out of the last 11 Stanley Cup winners, I think, have
touched it. Yeah. Well, the Pittsburgh Penguins, they put their mitts all over it. Tampa didn't touch it their first year when they lost in the finals, and then they had their mitts all over it when they won back-to-back.
So I'm obviously quoting now something that I can't remember. It's been a long weekend, but so the ESPN guys, it might have been Steve Levy, jumped out and said something like that along those lines. So we'll see. By the way, the Scott Van Pelk is a great interview.
He's the fucking man. He's the man. And for you star players out there, you know, what Matty Tkachuk is doing right now on the ice speaks for itself. And you know, I watch The Last Dance every now and then. I'll flip it on. And the one episode was about MJ's like, my play did my talking. If I didn't have my numbers were what it was, I would have never got all my endorsements. And Matty's play's been doing the talking. But also when he does an interview, it's fucking, he's himself. And that's what the hockey needs, man, is what Matty Tkachuk is bringing. So to all the superstars out there, if it's not in your nature, still try to sell the game. He's done an unbelievable job like that. Updogg, it's too bad somebody's got to lose, man.
Yeah.
I really don't know what to do here, bro. I'm not even going to pick a winner right now. I'm going to pick a winner. I'm going to tell Princey to post it after the series just because we have a pool going on and I think I'm making a bit of a comeback on the boys.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Well, I went 2 for 2 this round. Would you go 1 for 2?
I think so. I think I took...
You took Carolina.
I did, right?
Yeah, and I think Loops did too. I think Princey's leading the fucking thing. I don't know if I can catch him actually, but I just want to beat you.
What were we playing for?
Nothing, bragging rights.
Okay.
I still owe you a ball. By the way, you came over there and I gave you that ball at Camus. You left it at my house. Does that mean that mean I paid the bet and I get to keep that now, or did you just forget it?
Did we not open it?
No, we didn't open it. We went to Rothschild's and got tuned up.
I still think we need to drink it together, bud.
Do you want to touch on this? Yeah, we will. Do you want to touch on? I mean, I don't know who to cheer for. I'm all in on Florida. I've been all in on them all year. I love Matty. I love Monty. I love Nick Cousins. I love Paul Maurice. I love everything about him. But I love Todd Pickup, Tom Riley. I love Jack Eichel. I love the city of Vegas. What do we do? I don't know, man.
I'm excited to go out to Florida again with you. Fella Tour for the finals. It's the finals Fella Tour. We're back at it again.
Yeah.
Part of me, you know, I had a great time in Florida. I think the ownership group there, I think they deserve this run. The fans, like they've been through fucking hell and back, and it's nice to see the support they got. I'm pumped for Eki, pumped for Barkey.
Yeah.
Matty, what he's doing is impressive. Sergei Bobrovsky, win or lose, should if it's not going to Matty Tkachuk, it should be going to Bobrovsky. But I think he's played better than anyone on the Vegas Golden Knights. If we're talking about an MVP of the playoffs right now, I think he's leading the charge. But I don't know, bud. If you want me to do this right now, I will. But I don't know. I'm kind of like you. I kind of want to.
Yeah, I mean, you can pick a winner if you want. I just don't want. I'm going to pick one for our pool, but it sucks that one of these teams has to lose because I like them both. I would say this: Vegas is D. I think we're going to find out early in this series. If they can slow down all the people, this is Captain Obvious, but if they can slow down Matty, keep him out of the blue paint, if Sam Bennett can, not go in there and absolutely run them over, I think the difference in the series is going to be how good can Vegas' D be, right? Because I think the edge goes to Vegas when it comes to overall depth, and their defense, I think, is better.
Yeah. And game one's going to be huge. If fucking Florida goes in and steals game one, it's heads up.
I know. Are you worried? I had this written down, actually, team me up. Are you worried about this long layoff for the Panthers?
I am.
Yeah, me too.
I think a betting man would say you got to take Vegas in game one. And unfortunately, I want to see a great game, but 9-10 days off, Obes, is a legit concern.
It is.
I mean, Messier last night was saying it doesn't matter, but to not be in that competitive mode and to sit in South Florida and kind of watching hockey and, I just feel like the nerves are only going to just build up.
I know.
When do they fly? When do they fly out to Vegas? Do you think they go Thursday?
Probably. Yeah.
So they're still in their home. They've been there a week.
I just don't get why it was going to start Wednesday and now it's not starting Saturday. Why not start it Thursday or
Thursday should have been the day.
Yeah.
Thursday, 100%.
Saturday.
Yeah. I agree. That's 3 days off for Vegas. Yeah. Although, maybe they deserved more than 3 days off.
It's perfect for Vegas, really.
It's a perfect
amount of break for them.
Yeah.
It's 1 week at home. So what? They played on, what was yesterday? Monday. So Tuesday, don't even come in and get some treatment. Wednesday, I probably don't even make the boys skate. Thursday, we have our practice. Friday, we go through our special teams and our meetings. And then Saturday, it's fucking optional. Let's rock, boys.
Yeah, totally.
Right? It just seems that it's teed up great for them. I don't know. I don't know.
I'll tell you what. I got a fruition here is that if Jack Eichel elevates his game, Vegas will fucking dominate this series. If Jack Eichel can hit another stride, which I think he can, he's been great. But I think if Jack Eichel brings his game up to a level that I think he can get to, it's turn the lights out. I think Vegas with their D, and if Aiden Hill continues to kick like this, Jack Eichel he's a game maker. I think all of Florida's guys are at the top of their game right now, and that if Jack Eichel elevates, it's a huge fucking hammer time for the Vegas Golden Knights, in my opinion.
And another thing that for me, Vegas's power play in the playoffs, 17%.
That's better than it's ever been.
Better than it's ever been, but it's still not great. So if you're Florida, you're like, let's egg it on the power play here. But are you intimidated if you're Sam Bennett? Are you intimidated to take an extra step and fucking drill Theo? If you're Matty Tkachuk, are you intimidated to go to the blue paint a little bit harder than Aiden Hill? Fuck that. We can kill this penalty off, boys. Totally. Let's go.
Yeah. Florida's PK has been great.
Great. So I think if Vegas's power play struggles, which it has, that could be a difference too.
Yeah.
It could be a difference too. But
again, I think that's, when I watch Eichel having the puck on the half walls and having, chances to, God, he's so dynamic. If he just busts through some of the lanes that open up for him and drive that puck to the net, you know what it's like.
Oh yeah.
I just think he can be a big difference this period.
I mean, this is why they went out and got him. And this is what Ikes has wanted for, and I think Brandon Montour on the Florida back end, he's got to play like he did against Toronto and Boston. Not that he didn't have a bad series against Carolina. Fuck, he played 70 minutes the one game. But, I mean, listen, it's a fucking pick 'em basically. Vegas minus 120 to win the series. Panthers even money. Is it that? I mean, it's just like.
You can't, like the second you think Florida's out of this thing or doesn't have an edge, they have the edge. And that's just the way they played and they fucking love it.
I mean, financially, listen, I took Vegas at the start of the year. I got them at plus 1,800. Financially, I'm like, if Vegas wins, it's great. Mm-hmm. I'll be just so torn for Matty and Monty. Like, I'll be like, fuck, right?
Yeah.
I would suck for those boys, but it's just like, I don't know. I'm going to enjoy every second of it. I'm not going to pick a winner. I'm taking the easy way out because I love both the teams and we'll see how it plays out, but it's going to be a good series.
Yeah, I agree.
If you're not picking a winner, how far does the series go?
I want 7 games either way. I want it right to the fucking. I want to be at game 7 in Vegas. I want it to go 7.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't want a short series. There's been too many short series, in my opinion. Fucking Florida's been just whacking teams.
Yeah, I know.
See you later.
Yeah, they're like the LA Kings of the 2013 season.
I want 7 games. What do you think?
Yeah, I know it'll be a long series. That I think both teams deserve, and they both are going into this this is going to be a long battle. There's going to be a lot of ups and downs. I hope that the games are tight. I hate fucking 5-1 games.
No kidding.
I hope that they're all tight, and Florida's been in these tight games. Florida's played they play fucking 4 overtime games almost last round.
They haven't lost an overtime game, I don't think.
So they know how to play a tight match.
I would say if I'm in Florida's dressing room, Shea Theodore, and I love Theo, he would be a guy that I would be like, hey, Benny, I'm sure they call Sam Bennett Benny, get on him and stay on him and keep putting pucks in his corner and make him turn and go get him. Make it hard on Theo because when he gets moving, he's kind of like Monty on the other side, right? I would make Theodore's life a fucking living hell if I was the Florida Panthers, or try to.
What about Marsha Show against his old squad here who gassed him in the, in the
great story
salary in the lottery draft?
Great story. I think.
See you later, bud.
I think that Carlson line. Who do you put Carlson's line up against? Do you want to play against Barkey or do you want to play against Sam's line? And then if you could put Eichel against Sam Bennett, like the Matty Tkachuk line, like that's the series within the series that we'll see what plays out too.
Yeah.
And I think Barkov's got to Barkey's been unbelievable, but he needs to. You talked about Eichel, Barkey, Matty Tkachuk. Listen, 21 points in 16 games. If you'd ask Matty Tkachuk who the best player is on Florida, he would say Barkov.
No kidding.
And Barkov has to be.
Yeah.
It's just a shame one of these guys are going to have to lose Updogg, but I will be betting on it. I'm fuck the season's coming to an end. I'm done. I'm sick of gambling. I need a break.
Will the first period overs hit with these 2 fucking goalies in net just kicking? Because they were kicking. The first period over, I hit in every Dallas game last round.
Yeah. The boys, Rowley and the boys are on a streak of unbelievable in first period over.
Yeah.
So But
it's going to be fun.
Couple good little towns, good climate, good energy. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
We'll come back with a nice tan, bud.
Can't wait. Fella tour, here we come. Max Binger, Hall Pass Media. Thanks, fellas. That was Missin Curfew.
Fella.